So, after hearing about the orca studies, I got my stamp and then headed to the center of the park to watch a presentation by conservation ambassadors. Do you know they've been working with the park for like 28 years now? You mean like right now? Don't think too hard about it. But they really do great work, spreading awareness about important issues in nature and the animal world, and taking care of some really amazing little and big creatures.
Well, my name is Jojo, and helping me today we have Brenna and Danielle and Nui, some of our volunteers. We also have Flip here, he's our most senior employee. But we all work for a company called Conservation Ambassadors. We give a home to rescue wildlife, either to animals that have been injured somehow and can't be set free back out into the wild. We have a problem with people trying to make pets of wild animals, and those animals are taken away and sent to our center as well. Then what we do is give these animals lots of love, lots of attention, and lots of food. See, back in the day, people used to see these cute little critters waddling along the roadways here in California, and they decided to scoop them up and take them home. And eventually people get sick and tired of taking care of them, and we release them back out into the wild. The only problem was, these captive tortoises brought along with them a respiratory disease, and we almost lost our state reptile. It actually took the help of Fish and Game. They sat there and they made permits that allowed people to keep these tortoises in human care to prevent the spread of disease back out in the wild. And Flip here, he happened to be one of those tortoises. Flip is now 82 years old. But let's say goodbye to little Flip here, the super old California desert tortoise. All right, now for our next guest though. She's not too big, just about 13 feet of Burmese python. This is Julia Squeezer. She actually came to our center because somebody purchased her from a pet store when she was only about 1.5 feet long. And eventually people said, whoa, we need to find a new home for Julia Squeezer, and that's what she sent us at our center. And I'd like to say that her story doesn't happen a lot, but we get a call for a big snake like this at least once a month at our center. Right here in the United States though, we are having a huge problem with these snakes. So many of these snakes have either escaped or been released into the southern swamps of the United States, and they're now taking over the wilds of Florida and Louisiana. But in their natural habitat, in the rainforests of Southeast Asia, they're an important part of the balance of nature. I think they're a stunningly beautiful creature, but that is Julia Squeezer. Let's say goodbye to the Burmese python here. Oh, our next guest happens to be one of the more iconic animals on this planet. This is Pogo. Check out the 6-month-old red kangaroo. Now Pogo here, he's an adorable creature, but when Pogo was first born, he didn't look anything like a kangaroo. No, he looked more like an insect larva or a worm. Yet a creature that big, the size of an insect larva, has to climb up its mom's pouch to get inside the belly. Once that baby gets inside that pouch, it starts to nurse, and once it starts to nurse, its jaws lock shut. But no, it's important. That baby stays latched on, developing for 3 months. At 3 months old, it looks a lot like Pogo here. And when Pogo poked his head out of his mom's pouch at our center, his mom decided she didn't want to raise him. And so he's been hand raised by our staff. He's a beautiful little creature. He's very, very sweet. But kangaroos are struggling a little bit in recent years. Even though they've been doing really well, the wildfires and traffic has diminished their populations a little bit. But through conservation efforts, we can protect these beautiful little creatures. But that's little Pogo. Let's say goodbye to the beautiful little kangaroo here. Our next guest. His name is Spike, and Spike, he's about 110 pounds. This is Spike, the North American alligator. 34 years ago, he was found being kept in a man's bathtub in Los Angeles, and he was taken away, and he's been helping us do education programs ever since. He is perfectly set up for life in our southern swamps. He can see just the tip of his nose out of the water, and he can breathe. It works like a snorkel. Those spikes running down his back, Those are what's known as an osteoderm. That's an osteoderm. That means it's part bone, part skin. That is his protection from other alligators. But then, he's got this big, long, muscular tail. He can pump that tail along and swim faster than a bottlenose dolphin can. He even has close to 2,000 pounds per square inch of crushing power in his mouth. One of the strongest set of jaws in the animal kingdom. These guys are an animal that gives you here. Sit down there, buddy. These guys are about to go on a predator-prey show. We almost lost North American alligators because of this side skin. See, so many alligators were overhunted for that skin to make boots and belts and wallets and purses out of them. So many alligators were killed for that skin that we almost lost the largest reptile that we had here in the United States. And now the North American alligator has made such a strong comeback that there are over 2 million alligators in Florida alone. But it shows that if we truly care about a species, we can make a big difference out in the wild. Our next guest has the coolest hairdo. This is Wilson, and he is the African crested porcupine. Now they're called the crested porcupine because of that awesome mohawk they have going down their back. But you know what? We've all heard about how porcupines shoot their quills, right? Porcupines don't shoot their quills. Those quills are just hair. It's hair that's sharp and stiff and pokey. And when an animal touches them, that's when those needles are left behind. And it's not like they're spring-loaded and you can say, fire missile 6 and shoot them out. No, those quills are an excellent form of protection, but definitely stuck to his body. No other animal messes with them unless they are exceptionally hungry. He's a member of the rodent family, the beaver, porcupine, mice, and rat family. In fact, they're the second largest rodent on this planet. And this guy, he was born at our center. He actually has rattle quills that he can shake when he's upset. Basically, if another animal's bothering him, his quills will flare up all the way up like a sea urchin walking on the ground, and he'll rattle that back end saying, hi, I'm a porcupine, and I am Pokey. He, like I said, he's about 8 months old, still learning how to do this. Do you guys think he did a good job? Well, either way, he gets his corn. But that's little Quilson. Let's say goodbye to the beautiful African crested porcupine here. Well, this last guest is my new favorite animal to share with an audience. She's a stunningly beautiful animal. This is Tater Tot. And what is she? A capybara. But ever since these guys have been discovered on social media, or doing funny things, like sitting on the backs of crocodiles, or hanging out next to jaguars where the jaguars devoured their prey, or cute little photos of capybaras wearing an orange peel as a hat. These guys have now become one of the most famous and recognizable animals on this planet. But no, these guys, they survive in the South American wilds, alongside top-tier predators. So on day 1, a capybara that's just been born can already walk and run. They can already swim at only 4 days old. They start to eat solid foods and will continue to nurse on mom for milk. So at 4 days old, they really start to grow. And they will grow and get bigger and bigger. And even Tater Tot here, who already weighs over 80 pounds, is going to keep on growing until she weighs closer to 100 pounds. She's a member of the beaver, porcupine, mouse, and rat family. And like all rodents, she has ever-growing teeth. See, there was a breeding program out in Arizona, but their owner unexpectedly passed away. And we took in some amazing creatures, including a capybara that showed up at our center and gave birth 2 days later. Tater Tot's mom, she took care of all the other babies, except for little Tater Tot. I had to become mom. I had to take her into my home. I had to give her a bottle every 2 to 3 hours, day and night. She's since become best friends with my little dachshund, my wiener dog. They're good buddies. But even though I've been raising her since she was 4 days old, did she really belong in my home? No, like all the animals, I'd so much rather see them in here out in the wild. That is where she truly belongs. Even though she looks like a giant coconut, she can run 22 miles an hour. She can leap from the ground up on this table in a single bound. She's amazingly athletic compared to what her body looks like. In fact, she has web feet that allow her to swim effortlessly through water. She has an extra eyelid that is a built-in pair of swimming goggles that she can use to see when she's under the surface. And this girl here, she can only even hold her breath for over 6 minutes. Now, did you guys enjoy those animals? I hope you did. I hope you guys learned something. I just have one thing to ask, and that's if there's anything that you guys care about. Whether it's people, plants, animals, or the planet itself, just get out there and do something about it. If everybody plays their part just a little bit, we can make this world an even more amazing place to live.
Peebs, I love Conservation Ambassadors' presentations, don't you? They take care of some really incredible animals. Oh, sorry to hear that, Peebs. I bet you don't hang out with Spike either, huh? You know what, though? Beals the Raven and Julia Squeezer aren't friends either. But it's not what you think. They got into an argument at a Christmas party a few years back and haven't spoken ever since. But anyway, I gotta say, it must be a great job getting to travel around and talk to people and do important work with the ambassador animals like that. Good idea, Peeps. We really need to raise seagull awareness. Yeah, everyone should be aware of gulls, especially when you're eating. Be aware that they might steal your fries. Be aware that they might fly over your head and poop on you. Peebs, your only standards are, I see food and can I eat it all in one bite? I guess when it comes to priorities, food is a pretty big one. Oh, Peebs, you're such a goofball.
You're watching U42, the Quad County area's local leader in television entertainment. Don't go anywhere because the U42 premiere Friday night continues with more antics as an unwanted guest drives Harold up the wall on a brand new episode of Why Me at 8:30. Then at 9, an unsolvable crime meets an unstoppable detective in an all-new Puppers McDoggo's Mini Mysteries. At 9:30, Jessica schemes to get her best friend cut from the cheerleading team on the season premiere of Westville High, followed by a full hour of high-flying stunts and non-stop thrills as Captain Stone Slab and his action fighters take on the evil General Tentacle and his evil hordes in a brand new Alpha Team Super Action Squad team adventures at 10. So don't go anywhere. With U42 premieres, your Friday night is here.